The Gabby Petito Foundation now up and running. The effort, launched by Petito's family in honor of the slain 22-year-old, is meant to help families find missing loved ones. Meantime, a North Carolina sheriff and Dog the Bounty Hunter are both looking into a potential sighting of Petito's ex-boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, after a hiker says he has no doubts he spoke with Laundrie on the Appalachian Trail over the weekend.
Yeah, that hiker's name is Dennis Davis, and he joins me now by phone. Dennis, thanks for being here this morning. Appreciate your time. Can you tell me about this encounter that you say you had with Brian Laundrie?
Sure, Jillian. It was, I drove up to the North Carolina-Tennessee border on Friday night, coming up from Florida. And I got there at about 12:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. I was parking my car at a parking lot where we were going to end our trip on at the end of the week, and it was called the Davenport Gap. And as I was parking there, I actually went past the parking lot. I saw it in the rearview mirror, and I was doing a three-point turn in the road. It was a very narrow country road, and so I made the turn, and as I was coming back towards the parking lot, another vehicle was coming towards me. They flashed their lights, and the gentleman waved his hand at me. So I stopped, and we spoke. So we were side by side, our cars. He was in a pickup truck sitting right next to me. And as soon as I looked at him, he looked like he was messed up or something. But it took him a minute to ask me anything, and he looked at me and he said, "Man, I'm lost." And I was thinking, well, I'm a hiker. I'm out here. I was just kind of lost. I missed that parking lot. Maybe that's what he is too. And I said, well, I'm not from around here. Where are you trying to go? And he said, man, I'm trying to go to California. And I was like, well, wow, that's an odd thing to say, I thought to myself. And then he said, my girlfriend and I got into a fight, but she called me and told me that she loves me, and I've got to get to California to see her. And I said, well, I-40 is right there next to us. You can get on I-40 and drive to California. After that, he kind of just looked at me and he said, no, I think I'm going to keep driving down this road. I think it goes to California. And, of course, this is just a small country road. Right.
Dennis, did you, at that point in time, think this was Brian Laundrie, or was it after that you thought, that guy looks familiar?
Yeah, it was not right that minute. I did not have a picture in my mind of what this guy looked like, and, of course, I wasn't thinking I was going to run into him. So but I did think at that moment, I was like, this guy is weird. There's no way. I was planning on sleeping in my car in that parking lot. And I said to myself, there's no way I'm staying here now after this encounter. So I drove my car and I was headed west on I-40, and all of a sudden it kind of dawned on me, what if that was that guy? So I got off on the next exit and quickly pulled up my phone, and the very first picture I pulled up of him was a portrait view of him. And when I was speaking with the man when it was happening, the thing that really stood out to me about him was this thick, dark, black beard and mustache, very short but very thick, that he had.
Interesting.
And the very first picture that I pulled up was that portrait view of him with that black beard and mustache. And right at that minute, I said, this is absolutely him. And I immediately kept looking on the internet to try to find out how to contact the FBI.
Yeah, have you spoken to police?
I got my first call from the police last night at 7 p.m.
And what did they say?
Well, I spoke with a local police department. So that night I made 2 calls to the FBI. I made a call to the 911 in Tennessee, and the last call I made was to 911 in North Carolina. The officer called me from North Carolina, and he was following up. He had obviously there was a lot of media calling and trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
And he called me back to confirm to me that he apologized for not getting back with me, but he confirmed that the North Carolina police that night did dispatch someone to go out to the site and look for him. The officer told me that they had sent somebody out there. The officer was out there for 50 minutes looking, and they pulled over one vehicle in that time, just to check to see if it was him. And the only vehicle they saw in that 50-minute span. It was about 3 a.m. in the morning when they finally got out there. when my encounter with him was at 12:30.
Yeah. Well, Dennis, I mean, it does make you wonder. You described it as a white pickup truck. I mean, this is the first time we would be hearing, if it truly was Brian Laundrie, it's the first time we'd be hearing about this white pickup truck, to my knowledge anyway. A lot of people estimating maybe he was on foot. Look, we'll continue to follow this and see. But at this point, any lead I think that the police are getting, I'm sure getting a lot. So Dennis Davis, thank you for joining us with what you saw. Appreciate your time.